Hello, this is Business News Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV News Studio, Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, unmetered power users in Nigeria increased to 6.3 million despite the mass deployment of meters by the federal government. Agri-sector records a trade deficit of 1.7 trillion naira in 9 months. Google announces its first investment from its $50 million Africa Investment Fund. World's richest man, Elon Musk, says he'll be paying $11 billion tax this year. Many thanks for joining us, and here are the business stories we're tracking at the hour. I am Omobolanle Adishui. We begin business now with a statement from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, warning the general public against the fake competition trending online. The fake report claimed NNPC is to celebrate its so-called anniversary event, with the eventual winner getting a cash reward of up to $8,000. This disclosure is contained in a statement issued by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division of NNPC, Garba Muhammad, in which he said that NNPC had nothing to do with the purported anniversary event contest. The state-owned company has also drawn the attention of the unsuspecting public to fake information circulating on social media that it was conducting a recruitment exercise, which it said is not true, and asks that it should be disregarded. The federal government has outlined 9 completed and ongoing hydropower projects being prepared to add 2,672 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. It outlined the projects in its latest document containing the status of the country's hydropower sector, which was obtained from the Federal Ministry of Water Resources in Abuja. Data from the FMWR showed that the 9 projects were located in 5 states, including Kaduna, Taraba, Gombe, Benue, and Nasarawa. They include the 30 megawatts Gurara 1 hydropower project in Kaduna, completed and put on concession, 360 megawatts Gurara 2 plant, also in Kaduna, which was awarded. Others include Kashimbila, Dadinkowa, and Etisi hydropower project with capacity of 40 megawatts each and located in Taraba, Gombe, and Kaduna State, respectively. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has put the number of unmetered power users across the country at about 6.3 million, despite the mass deployment of meters by the federal government. In its just released second quarter 2021 report, the Commission decried the huge metering gap in Nigeria, describing it as a key challenge in the power sector. This came despite the federal government's recent announcement that it had deployed about 1 million meters to power users nationwide. In October this year, the government said it provided about 1 million free meters for electricity consumers in past 10 months under its National Mass Metering Program, NMMP. It, however, revealed at the time that the number of unmetered power users in Nigeria had increased by about 2 million, while the metering gap at the start of the NMMP in 2020 was about 6 million. And the stock market of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, NGX, on Monday commenced the week with a positive performance driven by bargain hunting in Dangote Cement PLC and 20 others. In summary, the NGX All-Share Index grew by 41.4 basis points, representing an increase of 0.1% to close at 42,394.71 basis points, while the overall market capitalization value gained 22 billion naira to close at 22.1 trillion naira. The upturn was impacted by gains recorded in medium and large capitalized stocks, amongst which are Dangote Cement, GlaxoSmithKline, Consumer Nigeria, Union Bank of Nigeria, Guaranty Trust Holding Company, and Nemeth International Pharmaceuticals. Market sentiment, as measured by market breadth, was positive as 21 stocks gained relative to 11 losers. The new national president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Debo Ahmed, has said that insecurity throughout the country constitutes a serious threat to the oil and gas industry as well as the Nigerian economy. Speaking after he was sworn in at the association's secretariat in Abuja, the IPMAN president expressed concern over the challenge, noting that it remains a matter of worry to the association. Ahmed, who succeeded the immediate past leader of the group, Sanusi Fari, while addressing the gathering of petroleum marketers, however, acknowledged effort by security agencies to surmount the challenge and guarantee security of lives and property. The new IPMAN chief also called on the downstream sector operators to come to terms with the reality of full deregulation of the oil sector, driven by the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. The Nigerian Communications Commission has collaborated with the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria to establish a digital academy for SMEs. According to a statement, SME Digital Academy is a public-private partnership initiative driven by SMEDAN and Safital Learning Limited. It added that the partnership aimed to equip entrepreneurs and startups with the necessary digital skills required to navigate a digitized world. The executive vice chairman of NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, said the commission had continued to work towards providing information and communications technology support to various sectors in the country. He added that with over 41 million micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria, proper empowerment of entrepreneurs would create an extremely powerful impact on the nation's economic growth. Google has announced its first investment from its Africa Investment Fund in SafeBorder, a tech firm that operates in Nigeria and Uganda. It said in a statement that this investment would help the firm scale its transportation-led app to offer new payment and financial services solutions for its expanding set of customers in the two countries. The managing director for Google in Africa, Nitin Gadria, said, and I quote, "I'm thrilled about our first investment from the $50 million Africa Investment Fund that we announced 2 months ago. This is part of our ongoing commitment to tech startups in Africa." End of quote. The agricultural sector recorded a trade deficit of 1.7 trillion naira between January and September this year, as exports stood at 371.8 billion naira, while imports rose to 2.1 trillion naira. The latest National Bureau of Statistics Foreign Trade Report showed that the total value of trading in agricultural goods during the first 3 quarters of 2021 was 2.4 trillion naira. In the first quarter of the year, the total trade in the sector was 757.4 billion naira, comprising an export component of 127.2 billion naira and imports worth 630.2 billion naira. The difference between the value of exports and imports during the reviewed quarter resulted in a trade deficit of 503 billion naira. The president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, says the bank will loan $210 million to Nigeria for special agro-industrial processing zones across the country. The loan, approved by the bank's board of directors, will help to unlock the country's agricultural sector and impact the lives of millions of people in Africa's most populous country. Additional, who disclosed this in a statement, said the loan would also assist in promoting industrialization in the country through strategic development of crops and livestock. He said the credit facility would co-finance Phase 1 of the Nigeria Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program, noting that the Phase 1 of the project would target 7 Nigerian states and the country's federal capital territory. The Nigerian Shippers Council, NSC, says it is working with relevant stakeholders to put an end to the collection of container deposits from importers and agents by shipping companies. The Executive Secretary, CEO of NSC, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, disclosed this at a dinner with select media executives in Lagos. Jime said the scrapping of the container deposit would reduce the burden of the high cost of doing business at the ports on Nigerians. He said a new insurance scheme would be introduced by the Nigerian Shippers Council to replace the controversial container deposit. The NSC boss also decried the high number of checkpoints mounted by the Nigeria Customs Service and other security agencies on the port access roads. NGS Regulation Limited, the self-regulatory organization regulating the Nigerian exchange, has reassured quoted companies and the general investing public of its continuing commitment to promoting a fair, transparent and orderly Nigerian capital market. Speaking at the 2021 Issuers Engagement Forum, Tinuade Awe said that with the increasing levels of shareholders' activism and greater levels of scrutiny of financial performance, the qualitative aspect of information disclosure is becoming more imperative for businesses as much as the quantitative form of information. According to her, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is still very much visible across the global economy. She said NGX would continue to encourage issuers to show transparency in their business activities through timely disclosure of price-sensitive information to the market to prevent information asymmetry. Still to come, U.S. government seizes $1.2 billion worth of cryptocurrency. Details and more business stories after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Mama, you're coming to Lagos. Banga. Baby, Mama just called me now. She's coming to see you. She asked me to tell you to make banga soup for her. And she's close to the house. Oh.
How do you expect me to prepare banga in just few minutes?
I have a solution for you.
Really?
If you sabi cook the banga, don't go enter my family. Pali banga is used in making other exotic dishes such as banga jollof rice, banga efo riro, banga asaro or yam porridge, banga egusi, and many more. Pali banga is easy to open, no preservatives, no cholesterol, and no coloring. Approved by NAFDAC. Manufactured by Pali Agro Products Limited. Available in all leading stores and supermarkets nationwide.
Pali banga, natural palm fruit extracts for tasty African cuisine.
Thank you for staying with us. And now business news on the African scene. The African Refiners and Distributors Association says the continent needs to deliver the refineries of the future to be able to meet the growing energy needs of its population. Executive Secretary of ADA, Anibal Kagra, in a presentation at the Africa Energy Futures Forum held during the 23rd World Petroleum Congress in Houston, United States, noted that the existing refineries will need to be upgraded to produce Afri-6 or less sulfur fuels in line with the organization's roadmap. With only 20 countries in Africa having refining operations and capacity utilization down to 55% on the average, Kraga submitted that new refineries like the Dangote refinery in Nigeria and the ERC refinery in Egypt should be designed to produce cleaner fuels. He lamented the current situation whereby only 6 African nations have liquefied petroleum gas LPG storage capacity above 50,000 metric tons, leading to uneconomic cargoes and increased landed costs. The Bank of Ghana has forwarded a number of suspected financial crimes cases to the Economic and Organized Crime Office for investigations. According to the central bank, these include suspicious claims to the Bank of Ghana for the payment of certain large sums of money purportedly remitted to them by foreign counterparties through some financial institutions. A statement issued by the central bank noted that these claimants often attached documentation alleged to be messaging from the SWIFT International Funds Transfer System as proof of the receipt and retention of their funds by BOG. The central bank noted that following an emerging trend that it has observed over the last few years, it has since October 2020 submitted 5 separate requests to the EOCO for investigations into claims of persons, individuals, businesses, and law firms acting on behalf of clients who have persistently made claims to the BOG to the effect that certain large sums of money purportedly remitted to them by foreign counterparties through the banking system have been withheld by BOG. Elon Musk, the world's richest person, has tweeted he will pay $11 billion in tax for this year. Musk has been embroiled in a public debate on social media over how much tax he pays. Earlier this week, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted that Musk should stop, quote, freeloading off everyone else. End of quote. The world's richest man, however, responded, saying he would pay the stated amount. Musk, founder of electric car maker Tesla and aerospace manufacturer SpaceX, became the world's richest person earlier this year. Bloomberg Billionaires Index puts his wealth at $243 billion, while Tesla is worth around $1 trillion. SpaceX is worth $100 billion. According to the director of the IRS's cybercrime unit, the agency confiscated $1.2 billion in cryptocurrency in 2021. That figure is astronomically higher than the prior year's tally. According to a report by CNBC, the U.S. government is sitting on a huge amount of bitcoins. The report stated that the government has been increasing its scrutiny of cryptocurrencies and consequently confiscating more of them. Earlier this year, the IRS announced that it had seized $3.5 billion worth of crypto in the fiscal year of 2021. The elite annual gathering of business and political leaders at the World Economic Forum, WEF, in Davos has been postponed due to the spread of Omicron. The meeting was due to take place in Switzerland from 17 to 21 January, but is now planned for early summer. WEF said the current pandemic conditions make it extremely difficult to deliver a global in-person meeting. Instead, it said participants would take part in a series of state-of-the-world sessions online. Professor Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, said the deferral of the annual meeting will not prevent progress through continued digital convening of leaders from business, government, and civil society. Up next is entertainment business.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Business News. My name is Agwogo Ayanago. Boat Rocker Media has acquired a minority equity stake in Dakota Johnson and Rodonelli's Tea Time Pictures. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, but the transaction extends a 2-year-old first-look deal between Platform One Media, later rebranded as Boat Rocker Studios, and Tea Time to develop and produce scripted and unscripted TV and digital content. In addition, Katie O'Connell-Marsh will leave her role as vice chair of Boat Rocker Studios and join Tea Time as a partner while signing an overall deal with Boat Rocker. O'Connell-Marsh came to Boat Rocker when it acquired Platform One Media and has overseen creative relationships established with directors, actors, and writers who want to set up their own production companies and develop their own content, like Johnson has with the Tea Time banner. With its new equity investment, Tea Time will continue operating as an independent business, with Boat Rocker offering production financing and operational support. In another story, the Game Awards said on Monday that its 8th annual show on December 9 reached 85 million live streams, up from 2020's 83 million and the highest to date. Hosted and curated by executive producer Geoff Keighley at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, the video game industry's biggest annual event, in which the family-themed action-adventure It Takes Two took the top honor, streamed live across all major social and digital networks around the world. On Twitch, the show delivered 3.35 million unique viewers. Meanwhile, on YouTube, the live stream saw 1.75 million hours watched on the main field, up 14% from last year. And online authenticated fan voting, in which members of the community could vote for their favorite titles in every category, increased by 27% year-over-year to over 23.2 million via the main Game Awards website. Among the top appearances were Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Death Stranding game developer Hideo Kojima, Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, Guillermo del Toro, Simu Liu, and Far Cry 6 star Giancarlo Esposito. That's all we have for you on Entertainment Business. My name is Agwogo Ayanago.
Thank you, Agogo. Next is sports business.
Despite major financial challenges, FC Barcelona will spend big on a new stadium. Members of the club's board voted to renovate the 64-year-old Camp Nou with up to $1.6 billion in funding. It's 7.8% of Barcelona's 48,623 members voted in favor of the project called Espai Barça. The renovations were funded by Goldman Sachs over a 25-year plan with a 5-year grace period. The plan will not only revamp the largest stadium in Europe, which already holds 105,000 fans, but also an indoor facility. The club claims the refurbishments will generate $225.7 million a year through hospitality, VIP boxes, catering, sponsorship, naming rights and ticketing, as well as meetings and events. In March, Barcelona was technically bankrupt, according to a Deloitte report. The team then borrowed $605 million from Goldman Sachs and was eyeing a sale of a stake in its production company, Barça Studios. In October, the club's debt totaled $1.57 billion, the same amount it just authorized for Espai Barcelona. Still talking sports business, MLS is eyeing a media rights deal worth $300 million annually, which is more than 3 times what it currently receives. The league's current 8-year broadcasting deals with Fox, Disney's ESPN, and Univision expires at the end of the season and only brings in $90 million each year. The league will look to sell rights in a bundle, and the likes of Amazon, Apple, Warner Media, and Viacom CBS have already expressed interest. A possible concern when landing rights is market share. The NFL signed media rights deals worth $113 billion earlier this year. Such large deals in other sports could affect what's left for MLS. The media rights deal could be closer to $200 million annually due to U.S. Soccer ending its long-term agreement with Soccer United Marketing this year. And still talking sports business, Nike have announced a second quarter revenue of $11.4 billion, beating analyst estimates of $11.25 billion. Of its total revenue, Nike's brand revenue accounted for $10.8 billion, with Converse revenue growing 16% to $557 million. Digital sales were up 12% year over year, jumping 40% in North America, while Nike's footwear division recorded $6.8 billion in revenue. Apparel reached $2.6 billion, and equipment sales hit $382 million. The company's revenue in China and Asia Pacific and Latin America declined, reportedly due to smaller inventories caused by factory closures during the pandemic. Nike filed a trademark hinting at metaverse sneakers. While still facing supply chain issues, Nike has already been busy in the third quarter. Just the last month, Nike asked the International Trade Commission to block imports of Adidas shoes for allegedly copying Nike's technology. It also announced a full review of its media accounts and acquired NFT producer RTF-KT. And that's it on Sports Business. I'm Samson Olede.
Thank you, Samson. And with that, it's a wrap on Business Now. A very big thank you to you for watching. I am Omobolanle Adeshi. And from all of us here, it's bye for now.